Hey there and welcome back to What Happened to K-Pop? Your Kpop Hag here, today asking whatever happened to A-JAX, DSP's third generation boy group. This video will have two sections. The first will cover their career as a group, their first and second generations. Then the next section will discuss what each individual member has been up to since they left the group or since the group disbanded. A-JAX debuted on June 2nd, 2012 as a 7-member group. They were thought to be the male version of Rainbow. They were technically the 5th male group under DSP after JEXKI's, Click B, SS501, and A-Star 1. But the former was only active for a year and Click B was an idol band similar to FD Island, CM Blue, and Day 6, so many consider A-JAX to be DSP's media's third male idol group and their representative for the third generation of K-pop. A-JAX had 8 members over 2 distinct generations. They are Kim Dowoo, known during A-JAX as Kim Hyeonggon, Jaehyung, Jihu, known in the group as Hyojun, Yunyoung, Sungmin, who now also goes by Royal, Sungjin, Seungyeop, and the only member to be added during the second generation, Joonghee. A-JAX is a very interesting case study into what happened to DSP media and why having all the advantages does not guarantee success. The group was formed via MBC's Music's Making the Star, DSP Boys, which began airing on April 24th of 2012. They already had a 2-year endorsement with Sprees right when they'd debuted. So those of you thinking that having ambassadorships to brands before debut or right after debut are new, they're definitely not. The name A-JAX comes from a Greek hero during the Trojan Wars, but most people can only think of the cleaning product, or apparently this city from Canada, which came up in the search rankings way above the group did. After their reality show, they released a prologue single, a ballad called Never Let Go. The music video did not feature any of the members, but did feature labelmate Guhara. The prologue pre-release ballad song peaked at number 164. They were also announced as the opening act for Kara's Korea tour. This was all pre-debut, and the plan was for them to debut in Japan with Universal Sigma and Korea at the same time. DSP had seen through Kara's success how valuable the Japanese market was. Their official debut song was One For You. It was released on June 1st, 2012. The CGI graphics in the MV alone cost $40,000 that's the 2012 value. But the results were actually slightly worse than their prologue ballad, with One For You peaking at number 167. They also released the Japanese version of One For You as a single. It peaked at number 29 on the Oricon chart, selling 4,000 copies. In my opinion, the song was very K-pop, but a bit cringy. The issue was they were competing with the likes of Block B, who had debuted in 2011, and same year debuts BTOB, or B2B, VIX, C-Clown, Wonder Boys, New East, JG Project, BAP, and SM's EXO, as well as senior groups with similar images like Beast and UKISS. I would say that UKISS, BAP, Beast, and EXO had the most similar images, that kind of electronic Beast idol tough bad boy image. BAP just completely overshadowed them. In fact, they had prepared a superpowers concept but had to change it at the last minute, as EXO had done the same by coincidence. They were nonetheless accused of copying EXO. Safe to say, their debut did not go as well as they had hoped. Their next release was a song called Hot Game, released in July, so they really moved on quickly. That was their biggest hit in Korea, peaking at number 59. The Japanese version also peaked at number 31 on the Oricon singles chart and sold about 3,700 copies. The music video featured Kara's Nicole. They did show some good vocals on the song, but again, it felt just a little bit too second-gen K-pop, if that makes sense. They ended their debut year with yet another title track that would be 4 songs with 4 music videos, all with very high budgets. The title track would be the lead to their mini album, which would include their previous releases as well. Both the title track and the EP were called To My Ex, and they were released on November 15th, 2012. This song peaked at number 188 in Korea, a new low. Surprising because in my opinion, this was their best song yet. The EP only sold 2,700 copies in Korea. The retro sound kind of reminded me of something Infinite would release. I actually really liked it. I was surprised it didn't do better. DSP wasted no time, and another comeback was released on June 2013 with a mini album and title track both titled Insane. The music video featured 2 Rainbow members. The song peaked at number 123 and the mini album sold 2,000 copies. The song was decent but didn't do anything new. It was very noise music. It kind of reminded me of G-Dragon's Crayon. They announced another mini album in October of the same year titled Snake. That one peaked at 172 and the mini album sold 1,400 copies, a real decline. It felt more like a summer song with the upbeat pop rock and funk vibes, had that summer camp music video which featured yet another Rainbow member. Their Boy Scout concept was meant to match new label mates April's debut Girl Scout concept. With a decline in sales and interest, the group seemingly went on a hiatus. In 2014, their main activity was SNS drama Vampire's Flower, which I believe was produced by DSP Media because several members acted in it and they sang on the OST, and so did some other DSP artists. They released 2 OSTs for Vampire's Flower, a song called Vampire's Flower, and Moonlight Spell. A-JAX's first generation's last big activity is a song on DSP's Christmas album titled Like Lovers, and it featured singer Oh Jung-hyuk. Starting in early 2015, members started dropping like flies. On January 7th, 2015, DSP Media announced that Sungmin had left the group, and the next day that Jaehyung would enlist in the military. That February, Jihu, known in the group as Hyojun, left the group, though Hyojun/Jihu and Sungmin would remain in DSP Media, while Jaehyung's contract was terminated. There were also some controversies, such as Dowoo, then known as Hyeonggon, was criticized for his social media posts about the passing away of Baby Kara contestant An Seo-jin, where he chastised netizens for only showing sympathy after she had passed. For the rest of the year, Hyeonggon focused on musicals, and Hyojun formally changed his name to Jihu, like legally, and began pursuing an acting career. In 2016, the second generation began with the addition of member Joonghee and a Japanese showcase in December 2016. The group would focus almost entirely on Japan from here on out in their second generation. The second gen lineup consisted of Hyeonggon, Yunyoung, Seungjin, Seungyeop, and new member Joonghee. On September 19, 2017, the group released their third Japanese single, Romeo. It peaked at number 51 on the Oricon singles chart and sold about 1,000 copies. Members Sungmin and Joonghee also participated in the Idol reboot program, KBS's The Unit. Joonghee was eliminated in episode 14, while Sungmin lasted until episode 20 and ranked 43 overall. But they really didn't get much attention from the show and obviously didn't make the final unit. The group overall was seemingly not getting a lot of attention in Korea or Japan. There were a few performances in between, but their final song was a Japanese single titled You, released in 2018, which did not chart in Japan. And the members were kind of forced to live out their contract, even though they didn't really have any promotions. They were doing some solo stuff, but not very many. On March 31st, 2019, it was announced the group members' contracts had finally expired, and the group was officially disbanded. DSP held on to them for the full 7 years. So why did they fail? They had the money, budget backing them, big name featurings in their music videos, lots of initial promotion, pre-debut hype via reality show, and decently good vocals and dancing. But they were missing the most important factors in K-pop: a unique image. They were far too similar to other groups doing the same concepts better. Kind of an issue their sister group Rainbow was beginning to have. but unlike Rainbow, they didn't have amazingly good songs that really caught anybody's attention. As a boy group, it's always harder to get rankings on the digital chart, but they did particularly poorly. And most importantly for boy groups, and sorry to say this, it's really important for girl groups too, but for boy groups, building a fandom is all about having stan attractors and visuals. They just didn't have a standout visual to draw in fans. Say what you like, K-pop is primarily visual, and boy groups really need visual and entertaining, stan-attracting members in order to build a fan base. And they live off of that fan base. The album sales and concert ticket sales, that's what's most important to measure the success of a boy group. So what have the members been up to since they left the group or since disbandment? Were any of them a diamond in the rough that DSP never polished? While there has never been any official reunion or song releases as a reunion from the group, a few of the members did get together on a YouTube show in 2021. Hosted by Jihu, Revealing Ceremony Return of Idol also featured members Sungmin, Seungyeop, and Yunyoung. They had 4 or 5 episodes where they discussed things that happened while they were in the group or pre-debut, and they also performed some of their songs as a 4-member piece. I'm pausing right here, you can skip this if you don't want to hear me rant about something, but something that Yunyoung said really ticked me off because, how are you going to say this? For context, it was April member Hyojun who had made attempts in the past, but you directly called her out publicly. I'm going to put up here what he posted on his SNS. You already knew she was under pressure. She wasn't even the one who made the claims, it was her brother. And yet, you claim you were supporting your friend, Nan. Okay, you say you weren't dating her, maybe you were just a friend. Sounds like you were simping for her a little, but whatever. But how is this going to be your excuse for what you said when literally Hyunju was the one who made attempts? How do you square that? See, he was still under DSP Media at this time, and DSP Media's PR team is absolutely horrible. How is this the statement you're going to make? I don't get it. Please, you had a second chance to say the right thing and you didn't, okay? Even if we put this in the same realm as the AOA and Tiara situations, which there's evidence it wasn't. DSP Media admitted to the shoe and the Tumblr thing. There are videos out there, but even if we ignore all of that, if you know that Hyunju's mental state is not in the best place right now, how is it supporting your friend by calling her out like this? Why not just post that you support your friend or privately message her? Yeah, you were in the army, but if you had access to your SNS to post this, you had access to your phone to send her a text message if you wanted to support her. I don't get it. I don't get it. Maybe there's a reason some people aren't successful. Okay, done. We can skip now. Yeah. Let's start with member Seungyeop. He had done some acting while he was in A-JAX, but there are no credits after 2018 on his profile. We know he enlisted in the army after disbanding. In 2021, he took some new profile pictures. It seems he was signed with Major 9 for some time. I believe that's Hayes Company, around 2022, but he's now listed as a former artist. He hasn't posted on his Instagram since 2023, and his current activities are unknown. Are rumors he's gearing up for a comeback as an actor, though. I believe he was the main visual of the group. Jaehyung enlisted in the army in 2015 when he initially left the group and was discharged in 2016. In 2017, he had a supporting role in the drama The Lookout. In early 2020, he opened a cafe called Crystal Lounge, known for its large chandeliers and exquisite interiors. Though a rough time to open a cafe, just when the pandemic was really picking up. In 2021, he participated in dating reality show Love Catcher in Seoul. Apparently, he's really looking for a partner. He says he was the visual of the group. I was not aware of that. Really difficult to take your eyes off him, huh? He hasn't posted on his Instagram or YouTube since 2023, but it was mostly showing off his flashy lifestyle with sports cars and yacht trips and golden stuff. I can't find any information about his cafe, so it may have closed. None of the links work anymore, and it's not on Naver Maps, so no information about his whereabouts for the last 2 years. Sorry, I tried. Next, let's talk about member Sungmin. He was one of the 2 members who participated in the unit. He was with Purple Star Entertainment for a while and released a choreography video on their YouTube channel. Currently, he seems to be working as a model and in clothing merchandising. His partner is a designer. He has an Instagram that's active and recently made a YouTube channel where he's posted a few vlogs. He seems to be enjoying a quiet, aesthetics-driven life. Next, let's talk about member Dowoo, formerly Hyeonggon. He officially changed his name after leaving the group. Dowoo got married to his wife Hyojun on May 11th, 2019, just after the contract ended. She's a former model who he met while she was an exchange student in Japan and he was there promoting with his group. They had a son in November of 2019. Wait, May, November. Why would he insisted in this article I read that it wasn't a shotgun wedding? Like, come on, man, just be honest. We can all do the math. Why would you say this in the article? I knew I read that somewhere. Unfortunately, that was right around the time of the pandemic outbreak. That must have been really difficult and scary raising a newborn with like the virus and stuff. In 2020, they appeared in Erotic Couples, where they discussed their lacking private time, despite being newlyweds, with his wife Kim Hye-jin. She revealed that it'd been about 5 months since they did the horizontal mambo. I suppose having a 10-month-old doesn't help, but you could not torture that information out of me, let me tell you. Well, they seem to have solved that problem because they had a second child, a daughter, just before Dowoo's birthday in 2021. They had a family YouTube channel and he was a full-time YouTuber for a while, but he seems to have removed the channel since. Same with the Instagram for the kids, that is now private. I'm not sure what they do now, although his wife had a business at some point, so maybe they're working on that business together. They don't post each other on their Instagrams as much as they used to, though they do still post their kids, so hopefully everything's going well there. Next, let's talk about member Joonghee, the youngest member, the maknae, and the one added to the second generation of the group. He was the other member to participate in the unit. Joonghee enlisted in the army on February 18th, 2019, just before the group officially disbanded. He currently works as a music producer under the name Owl in the producing collective Vendors. He has been very active in composing and writing lyrics. He is listed on many songs, but here are some of the more well-known songs he has contributed to in the last 3 or so years. He's usually one of many writers on a song. You can check out his full credits on the KOMCA website using his member number and author name, which I'll post here. He helped compose NCT Wishes to the End of the World, A-Hoff's Rendezvous, he wrote lyrics and worked on the composition for Eyelid's Little Monster. He worked on the composition for Zero Base One's Cruel, composition for Triple S's Dreaming, lyrics and composition for ENHYPEN's Highway 1009, lyrics and composition for Recine's Counting Stars, and composition for VIX's Lilacs. He's also worked on several songs for girl group Primrose and a couple for boy group Plave. He has apparently also been active in directing. The collective will come up again and again, as several members are former K-pop idols. The group collective may be rebranding, or he moved to a collective called Double Level because I'm now seeing him in both. But anyways, it seems he's found that he works best behind the scenes. Hopefully he creates lots of amazing songs, and that he's getting paid well. Next, let's talk about Yunyoung. While he was in A-JAX, he helped create a lot of the self-made content for the group's YouTube channel. He was one of the original members and he stayed with DSP Media until the end and maintained many contacts within DSP Media, now RBW. He enlisted in the army around the time of disbanding. He seems to be working as a creative director and remains close with many former DSP artists, often posting about new releases on his Instagram. He also participated in writing lyrics for Nicole's UFO and 2 songs on Kara's Move Again reunion mini-album. He also frequently volunteers at animal and puppy rescues. In 2022, he got his level 2 barista certification. Maybe he can work in Jaehyung's cafe if it's still open. And in 2023, he worked as the visual director on Card's MV for Without You. He then worked as the creative director for their 6th mini-album, Icky. When Hyeongji released her solo Love and the album Toi Toi Toi, or maybe it's Toi Toi Toi, like the French, maybe, I don't know. He also served as creative director, even hand-making the plane in the album's main picture. In 2024, he served as the creative director for Kara's single I Do I Do. He also seems to have worked with Young Posse at some point. In 2024, however, he announced that he was leaving DSP Media again. He continues to work in visual direction. In 2025, he worked on a magazine photo shoot with Super Junior. He seems to want to continue this line of work rather than making music, despite being the other main vocalist. Speaking of the other main vocalist, next let's talk about Sungmin, aka Royal, or RYL. That's how he stylized it anyways. Like Rainbow, A-JAX had 2 main vocalists, the other being Sungmin. He, however, is the one who focused the most on making music on his own. He left the group in 2016 but stayed with DSP Media until 2019. Once he was finally free, he started putting out mixtapes, and for the next 2 years put out tons of music under his own label, Royal Life. Out of all the members, he released the most music post A-JAX. In 2019, he released 3 mixtapes: Dynamizone with the single Star. It's an interesting auto-tune rap sound that sounds exactly like a SoundCloud indie rap song would, but it has a catchy chorus. Then Dynamizone 2, from which I believe the title track is Rax and Lex. And then mixtape Fling, which had 9 songs with 2 singles, Mongsang or Dream, aptly named with its dreamy instrumentals, and then Inner Thoughts, which also has a smooth and cafe vibes instrumental. The whole album is nice cafe music-ish, especially I'll Hold You featuring Cue the Trumpet. Got a real jazziness to it. I really enjoyed this mixtape. In 2019, he also put out a single called Transurfing with the title track Calvin Klein, a hip-hop rap song. None of his songs seems to have charted anywhere that I could see. Based on the views on the YouTube videos that were very difficult to find, I can see why. He also doesn't seem to have anyone managing his YouTube because there were like 3 different profiles that contained his songs, so if he was interested in promoting his music, he should really combine them. In 2020, he continued putting out a lot of music, including official singles, which you can find on Korean streaming sites like Bugs. He released a single titled One More with 3 songs: One More, Blind Love, which got an MV, and How Will I Remain. Then he released another digital single titled Your Love, which he later dedicated to his girlfriend. And finally, singles OTR, and Obsession. It was all in 2020, so in 2 years he released all the music I just mentioned. Unfortunately, it seems he didn't get much traction, even though I thought some of the songs were good and more easy listening. He hasn't released anything since that I can find, but has been posting on his Instagram, though recently more and more rarely. He was randomly interviewed on TV in 2022 on a news segment as a member of the public, so I guess he's really incognito in Nugu now. In 2024, he celebrated his 5th anniversary with his girlfriend Jihu, who is a content creator, who he then married in December of 2024. For a while, he seems to have continued his company Royal Life, but it's unknown what he's specifically up to now. We hope he's enjoying his married life and that he continues to make music. And lastly, let's talk about who I believe to be arguably the most successful member of A-JAX in their post-A-JAX career, Jihu, aka Hyojun. He changed his name after leaving the group. He left in 2016, then moved to WS, where he was for 4 years, then HB Entertainment for 3 years, and last year in 2025, he signed with Haki Entertainment, where former G-Friends member Sowon is also housed. He has focused pretty much entirely on acting after leaving the group. He has particularly been in a lot of web dramas, though he has contributed some OSTs and released 1 single. He started off slow after his departure in 2016. He may have done his military service then, but unlike the other members, I could not find any information. Given his age, if he has not done it yet, he'll have to do it ASAP. In 2016, he starred in web drama Cruelty, Cinderella. In 2017, he was in web drama Not Dating But Dating, which starred former labelmate Go Uri, and had a small part in drama Jugglers, for which Karas Guhara sang in the OST. That year, he was also part of dance collective MOTF, Men of the Future, who choreographed many idols' dances. It's unknown if he's still involved with them, but he did release a video on their YouTube channel in 2017. Nothing with his name pops up otherwise. In 2018, he starred in Bitcoin-themed drama Can Love Also Become Permanent, and in the movie Bully. In 2019, he had a small supporting role in Touching the Heart as himself, and starred in web drama When I Open My Eyes, I See 3 Boyfriends. In 2020, he was very busy. He had a supporting role in the film The Therapist, Fist of Tebek, He had a supporting role in JTBC's Hello Dracula special web drama and a small supporting role in The Spy Who Loved Me. He starred in 3 web dramas, Single and Ready to Mingle, Lululala Pawn Shop, and Handmade Love. In 2021, he reprised his role as Mahun in the web drama Part-Time Mellow as sort of season 2 of Single and Ready to Mingle, aka Solo and Mellow. He was also in a Jimmy Choo short film and hosted the mini reunion web series with his fellow members. He also shot a commercial for Mamu Coffee called Fake Love and was in the music video for Rosanna's Never Ending Story. In 2022, he released several OSTs. First, he starred in BL, boy love web drama I Want to Bite You /Kissable Lips, and web drama Salty Idol, where he acted as part of the fake idol boy group called Expires. He sang on OSTs Body Love and Better Better for the drama. He also starred in movies Sing a Song, which also starred Hyojun, formerly of 4 Minute. He contributed 2 songs for the OST, It's Okay, and a duet with Gaehyun called A Glass of Tears. Finally, he ended the year with an audio drama titled Spanish Melody, which is basically like a radio drama, but I think this one had singing. He also had a busy 2023. He had a supporting role in Amazon Prime web drama My Man is Cupid, which starred After School's Nana, and he starred in indie film 38.5 Spring Day. From March to May, he was in play Changing Partners, and ended the year acting in Third Marriage, which also starred former Rainbow member Seungyeop. For that role, he won Best Actor in a Daily Short Drama at the 2024 MBC Drama Awards. Continuing into 2024, he was in Junyoung's Bye music video and starred in a short-form drama Dream On, where his character has the same name as him but he's a producer. That year in August, he released his first solo single titled Sailing. In 2025, he was in web drama Blue Octopus and was a participant on JTBC's We Must Unite to Win 4. He also released an OST for drama Motel California titled Let's Go Home. He also acted in real drama Fated Mate of the Nine-Tailed Fox. These are dramas made for shorts, so 1 to 3 minutes at a time / per episode. Is everyone's attention span really that cooked that they're making dramas in reels? Okay. This year, he's already booked. He has a role in Japanese drama Love at First Bite, which is to air on TV Tokyo. Over the years, he's also had many CF contracts, which we all know are particularly lucrative, including, but not limited to, Olive Young All Young Sale, perfume brand Afrimo AAA, Lineage M, Canu Decaf Coffee, LG Dios Refrigerator, HSA D Air Conditioner, Netmarble Second Country, Bravado, the game Langrisser, LG Cinebeam, Baskin Robbins, Airrest Humidifiers and Heaters, LG Air Conditioners, Cass Fillet Beer, Cafe Bene, Johnny Walker, and smaller ads on Instagram such as this German beer ad. He has a decently large following of over 1 million people on TikTok and on Instagram, where he posts frequently. His Instagram is very active. He's definitely been the most successful out of A-JAX and has a decently successful career, even if he focuses most on web dramas. I say even because web dramas tend not to pay as much because they're not as long. Most actors get paid per episode, and in general, web dramas don't make as much profits. So that's what the members of boy group A-JAX have been up to since they left the group or since disbandment. A cafe owner looking for love, a model / merchandiser, YouTuber and dad, songwriter, creative director, indie singer, web drama actor with tons of CFs, and seemingly returning to commoner status. The members have really run the gamut of post-idol careers with varying levels of success. The group itself had very little success. In fact, plenty of other boy groups with less company support had more success on the charts and in album sales, but many of them disappeared after disbanding. What A-JAX shows us is the importance of being in a large company. It provides you with opportunities and resources. Now, as the group shows, that doesn't mean you'll always be successful, but it will help you make contacts. Most of the A-JAX members who saw success in their post-group careers have worked extensively with the DSP Media or many of their former label mates. Those contracts, the budgets, the cross-marketing opportunities, and so on can continue to give you opportunities that you wouldn't have had being from a small company without continued activities of the company itself or any sunbiz or senior artists. Honestly, all things considered, A-JAX should have had a lot more success, but they were the first group to debut in DSP Media after the change in CEO. And really, they marked the beginning of the end for DSP Media. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions for groups you'd like me to find out more about, let me know in the comments below. Kpop Hag out. Bye!